People like Sam Bankman-Fried make their billions off of people like us. These people make all their money while we struggle. This might be one of the biggest frauds of our lifetime, and they're not even doing anything about it. People have lost everything, and now the Bohemian government decided that the FTX funds are theirs. With the help of Sam Bankman-Fried and that backdoor hack, the Bohemian government has taken all of the funds out of FTX. And now it looks like they're dumping the Ethereum on the open market. And again, Sam Bankman-Fried gets to run free. This is a developing story, so we're going to dive in.
You can't make this up if you've tried. 11:30, New York Times was planning to host a live event with Sam Bankman-Fried, Zelensky, Larry Fink, which is the CEO of BlackRock, and U.S. Treasury Janet Yellen, main speakers. Okay, let's dive into it. FTX filed its bankruptcy filing today. It is even worse than anyone imagined. Here's an overview. FTX lent Sam Bankman over $1 billion for his personal use. Just in, FTX customer funds were used to buy homes for employees and advisors in the Bahamas. FTX's new CEO, John Ray. How wild. Imagine your company that you work for just buy houses for everyone. What do you think is going to happen if you just use all your customer funds for stuff like houses and whatnot? Toys, spending money, just, it's so wild to me. And the next thing is that the Bahamas government, Bohemian government, is taking what's left before the bankruptcy filings or proceedings, which they now admit to ordering FTX to drain all FTX digital wallets. And they've moved them into the commission's wallet. Here's the statement. So originally they said that they did not tell FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried to do this. And now it comes out that they admitted to doing this. We'll see how this goes moving forward, but you were not supposed to move funds after you filed bankruptcy. All those funds, all your assets are supposed to stay where they are. And I'm interested to see what the U.S. debtors are going to do with the Bohemian government. FTX in a bombshell emergency court filing Thursday said evidence suggests Bohemian regulators directed former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried to gain unauthorized access to FTX systems to obtain digital assets belonging to the company after it had filed for bankruptcy protection. The filing said that Bankman-Fried transferred those assets to the custody of the Bohemian government. Now, what is the CEO going to do? Imagine taking over a company and you have the ex-CEO transferring all that company's funds to another government. Stated in record verified text, Bohemian regulators instructed that a certain post-petition transfers of debtor assets be made by Mr. Wang and Mr. Bankman-Fried, who the debtors understand were both effectively in the custody of the Bahamas authorities, and such assets were custodied on fireblocks under control of the Bohemian government. The debtors thus have credible evidence that the Bohemian government is responsible for directing unauthorized access to the debtors' systems for the purpose of attaining digital assets of the debtors. That took place after the commencement of these cases. The appointment of the JPLs and recognition of the Chapter 15 case are thus in serious question. I'm so curious to see how this all plays out. What is the U.S. going to do? What are the debtors going to do? What are we going to find? Why did the Bohemian government want these funds? Okay, a quick look at the market. You can see Bitcoin is up on the 24-hour and down for the week 3%. Ethereum, kind of the same thing. Usually Ethereum moves a little bit more than Bitcoin. You have it up 1.6% and 4.5% for the week. Tether, USDC, BNB, kind of similar story. Cardano 2%, and 8.5% for the week down. Dogecoin, Polygon. And one thing that we're going to talk about real quick before we wrap it up is the VIX. This is for your volatility index 2022, which is the white line, versus 2008 bubble, right? Your Great Recession. Now look, we are right there and it's starting to turn back up. Do you think it's going to go parabolic like it did in 2008? We don't necessarily have the same kind of bubble happening, but we're starting to be squeezed by the Fed and hiking interest rates and the inflation. Personally, I don't think this, but what you usually see is the VIX does have big parabolic candles that kind of prove capitulation, and that proves that you're at a bottom and a turning point in the market. So we'll keep watching this. We'll see what happens, but this might be the moment that we turn. And remember, 6 months before the Fed stops raising rates, you start to see a bottom, usually.